But here on Thursday, it's Myles Garrett time. Because what we're going to do for now with the Gotta Watch the Tapes is find one key play from the Browns season and dive in hardcore on that play. And then we're going to allow that play to lead a discussion into other aspects of the Browns. Scott Patsko, you are up with a Myles Garrett play from early in the 2020 season. Diving in on Gotta Watch the Tape.
All right, so this play is from week 2 against the Bengals. The Browns bounced back in that game after losing the opener to the Ravens. The play's in the third quarter. It's about 6 minutes left in the third. The Browns are down 21-3 at the time. And if you remember, they had just been stopped on 4th and goal from the 2. And now the Bengals took over, and they're facing a 3rd and 9 at their own 12. So they really didn't move the ball. And now they're in trouble because they're in a long 3rd and long situation against the Browns. Now, Myles Garrett obviously is on the field. Now he's lined up on the left side, but he's at left defensive tackle, which is a little bit weird, and we'll get into that in a few minutes here. But off the snap, he kind of jukes right guard Fred Johnson off balance, and really Johnson has no chance on this play. Then Garrett moves back inside and basically splits Johnson and right tackle Bobby Hart and gets around the edge and swats Joe Burrow the ball right out of his hands. He barely even touches Joe Burrow. I think he kind of just skims his chest, but he gets the ball. Joe Jackson recovers the 2, and Nick Chubb scores like 2 plays later. So that's basically the play. It's one of the plays from the first half of the season that had a lot of people talking about Myles Garrett as a legitimate defensive player of the year candidate because he kept strip sacking everybody. Like I said, he had 4 through the first half of the season, and this one obviously was a big deal because it led to a score and really helped the Browns kind of hold off the Bengals down the stretch.
So Ellis, again, in trying to describe this for people, Scott did a good job of setting this up. This is like quintessential Myles Garrett, is it not? Sometimes he gets off the line in a way that if you do a freeze frame, he's moving before anybody else is moving. This isn't quite a play like that. He doesn't beat the guy because he got to sort of jump on the snap, but he looks explosive. He looks nimble. He looks quick. It is like if he had won Defensive Player of the Year and it was like the Oscars and you were like showing his clips of why he won, this is like his money scene.
To me, this was the most beautiful play of Myles Garrett's season. This is, I would compare it to, I've seen Beyonce perform live front row. It was just like that. This is like that Step Brothers line, a mixture of Fergie and Jesus singing. I mean, that is what this play looks like. It was such a great play that Luka Doncic, the star guard for the Dallas Mavericks, put a side-by-side of him and Myles Garrett doing a Euro step. And obviously, Myles Garrett isn't playing basketball. He's playing football. A Euro step, I mean, I'm sure most people know, and I'm doing like the motions now on this video, which is great for podcasting. But, you plant one way, you shoulder fake the other way, and you end up getting around your defender. And Myles Garrett did that on a football field. Now, he completely took advantage of a far less athletic football player in the interior lineman, when we're going to get into all that. But it doesn't matter. These guys are NFL players. These are the best of the best. They get paid and their cuts are checked. Their checks are cut just like Myles Garrett's. And this was the play that did set the stage for what we thought was Garrett's expected Defensive Player of the Year run. It encompasses what Myles Garrett is, why he's the heir to Aaron Donald's throne as the best defensive player in football. He doesn't use any power here. This is all finesse. It's a juke move, and he gets to the quarterback and completely swings the entire game as Scott laid out. And that's just one facet of his game. Scott, I'm so glad you picked this play. I'm so glad you sent us the clip, and I was just able to run that on loop. And it really brought me back to early parts of this season and a new appreciation for what that play was. And I'm just excited for this whole series because when we're in the season, things happen so fast that we don't have time to go back and look at this stuff. But just right out of the gate here, looking back at that Myles Garrett play, man, it deserves a whole podcast segment. I'm glad we're doing it.
And I think to your point, the Euro step analogy is great. I had not seen that thing from Luka, but he really does that. And I think to what Brandon Thorne talks about, it's Scott, this is a play that not many people would do. This is not a mistake. This is not a scheme issue where they leave somebody unblocked. This is not someone the back makes a mistake. This is like a singular talent doing a singular thing and kind of creating this out of nowhere. But there are very interesting parts of this. And where he lined up, how he lined up, what else was going on with the defense that I think did contribute to him being able to make this play. But it begins with sort of singular athletic talent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think maybe the one thing that could have slowed him down is Bernard in the backfield, the running back, who just seemed to want no part of Myles Garrett rushing through his offensive line, and he went right for B.J. Goodson, which again basically cleared that path out for Burrow for Garrett to get there. But other than that, it was just great athleticism on Garrett's part. And I mentioned that where he was on the field for this play, because that's kind of important. It's one of the reasons why I picked this play. He's inside at defensive tackle. Porter Gustin, like I said, is on the edge to his left. Sheldon Richardson is the other defensive tackle. And then you have Joe Jackson, who I'm just going to call Joe. Is she really going out with him, Jackson, from here on out? It's a 70s music reference. Just look it up on YouTube, kids. Joe Jackson, I hope he sticks with this team because there's just so many stepping out. I mean, who doesn't know Joe Jackson from the 80s?
This is Scott Patsko is already he's lining up his off-season stories based on this, and Ellis just raised his hand to say, "I wasn't alive in the '80s. Sorry."
I'm not going to admit whether or not I spent an hour on YouTube watching Joe Jackson videos when I found out that Joe Jackson was on the Browns. So, but I might have done that. Anyways, Olivia Vernon is not on the field because he missed this game with a knee injury. Larry Ogunjobi obviously is not on the field, although he did play in this game. Adrian Claiborne actually started opposite Garrett, but it's clear that Joe Woods or maybe defensive line coach Chris Kiffin saw an opportunity to use Garrett in this situation, or in a situation like this in this game, a big third down, and obviously it paid off. And like I said, this was one of his 4 strip sacks this season, and it's only one of 12 times he lined up at left defensive tackle for the Browns this year. He only did it 4 times at right defensive tackle. So you didn't get a lot of Myles Garrett in the middle, but this is one of those plays that obviously just, it worked out, and it was great timing